Hotels, Bebop,
I'm going to start with the story. A few summers ago, Teal Sons and I are outside of a thrift shop too early in the morning with nobody present but us putting up artwork on little grid walls in the front of the storefront alley. And now I see Teal Sons' demeanor, man. It's like, what are we doing out here?
It's real.
And granted, I had dragged you out there. And I remember, I guess, recognizing that demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
That was real to me. And so I said, Teal, you ever watched that Mike Tyson documentary? And you remember this? And I said, you said you hadn't. And I said, well, in that Tyson documentary, he talks about how he got so good, how Mike Tyson became Mike Tyson. And he said, I had Customato. So that's his first trainer that took him in. He lived with him. He made Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, Cuss would get up every morning and he'd say to him, you could be champion of the world. Don't you want to be champion of the world? Don't you want to be the best in the world? And every morning he'd get up and he'd hear that. And I said, Teal Sons, we don't have Customato. We don't have him. But we got each other. And every time I look at you, I could say you're the best in the world. And you could say that back to me.
Yeah.
And that was I guess I was trying to bring you up, but I was depressed as hell too.
Hey, you heal through healing, you know?
And that's why I said Teal Sons has got to be the first artist Bebop guest. So here we are, man. How are you, sir?
I'm thankful to be here. I'm great.
You're still the best in the world.
Oh, likewise.
There you go.
The torch is being passed right now.
There you go. Oh man, that's funny though.
Yeah, that was a while back. That was cool, but then I remember I sold 2 paintings like immediately at that show.
After that pep talk, that's what it is, man.
That's it. The little sprinkles on the Sunday right there.
No, but like for real, that's just this game, right?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. If you don't, if you're not the one that's believing in yourself, I mean, like, eventually there's gonna be a point when everybody else doesn't. It might be at the beginning, it might be at the end, in the middle, whatever. But you gotta know how to take that and have that self-faith.
Yeah. I think especially when you're out in a market environment like that, and that wasn't even a market environment. I think that's what made it so gloomy.
It was just random. I had never done anything like that. I didn't know.
It was random. Well, and I felt weird because I was telling you to, and come out and join me, and so I felt a responsibility.
Yeah. I understand. That wasn't even the first.
Oh yeah, that was a string. Well, because that's how it is out there, and which brings us to like what it's like right now.
Yeah. I mean, you got to adapt.
We don't even really. Well, I think I haven't been out because like I'm quarantining,
right.
And but I wouldn't even want to venture if I wasn't to go out. I don't know how you feel about that, but
I got an invitation I want to say 2 months ago. I got an invitation and I was gonna go, and then I chickened out at that last minute. Like, not gonna lie, I was just like, you know what, I just don't feel good right now. I don't want to go.
Well, there's all levels of concern, I guess, but I think from a money standpoint, going out and putting up a tent and some walls and chatting the audience up, that's a struggle already. Going back to our little story,
right.
It's already hard. Statistically, those markets aren't going to be as strong.
Right. Hey, like I said, I sold 2 paintings at that one that you were talking about, but a lot of those I wasn't as satisfied at the end of the day.
Yeah, well,
and it's a gamble.
It's like that, but now there's more to gamble, I think, and then there's just the weirdness of it.
Yeah.
because a lot of actually sitting out there is that we get to interact person to person
Mhm.
with an audience and build an audience that way.
Yeah.
But when you gotta stand 6 feet away, put a mask on, and it,
Yeah, the whole social climate is just like we're not supposed to talk right now. We're not supposed to look at each other. Like,
yeah,
just,
yeah. I
it's
mean,
like that even in the store. So
yeah, yeah. It's strange times.
yeah,
So what are you working on the hardest right now?
right. Currently I'm working on this piece right here. It's actually a parody of a album cover from Ghostface Killer. Um, I like to just put animals on top of rappers' faces. I don't know. Is this my thing right now? I call it Rap Animals. It's a series. Um, I want to branch out from the Wu Tang. I think I've only done Wu Tang so far, but
That's all you
I'm
need.
a big. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the bulk of my hip hop diet.
There are enough Wu-Tang members that you could build a
Yeah,
career on.
you'll never be bored. Like yeah, you can do a study on each member. There's like 100 of them.
That's right.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny. There was I guess it was a documentary, but it talked about Wu-Tang would roll up with a crew, and it was 500 deep.
they weren't lying.
Like, yeah,
They weren't lying.
cool.
I mean, yeah, that's probably my favorite like rap group. Like,
Well, let's talk about music a bit, because like,
yeah,
I think that was probably one of our immediate connections when I met
yeah, just being fans of the same like styles of hip hop, but where that's above or underground, like we just both like you could say a quote that you knew nobody else knew, but then you're the guy that like is like, hey, I know that quote. And you're like, wait, what? No one knows that quote. What?
Nobody listen.
What? Cool
Right.
Kid? You know Cool Kid?
Yeah, that was the first one when I was like, wow, he knows who Cool Keith is.
Yeah, see, Cool Kid. That's
But
ultramagnetic.
But yeah, like hip hop especially,
Yeah.
I was telling my friend the other day because I do these scribbles,
Yeah.
and that's graffiti. Like, and I've told you this before, but when I saw your work, it really brought that more to prominence in mine.
Yeah.
But to me, I always say those little tags that's what it feels like when I'm listening to that music.
Yeah. It channels it in a way. Like you understand why it's all connected. Once you dive in, you get the what's the 4 elements of hip hop? It's the b-boying, the DJing, MCing, and the graffiti spraying.
Yeah.
So you can't. You got to have them all.
It's the elements, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but and hip hop is very much about voice. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. There are all those other layers, but then it's like what the person's saying.
Yeah. It's the most statement-oriented genre, in my opinion.
Which is cool, with your animal rapper heads. In general, like you do a lot of things that are fable-like.
Yeah, definitely. I used to really like early in the game, I really considered myself specifically as a surreal artist. Like that was what I wanted to be known for. So I was doing a lot of, just little stuff like make something really small, really big, or something really big, really small. But at this point, I've kind of branched out, especially, and that comes to with influence from other artists. Like seeing all your album covers, it made me want to start doing some of my favorite album covers. And I really did a lot of like reggae dancehall album covers. So I felt like I never wanted to bite your style or nothing like that. And just
Well, I think we had this discussion once with Juan Zamora, where he's like, "Well, you do them." I'm like, "Well, I didn't invent album covers, But I do feel that because the album covers actually came from a friend of mine that would remix baseball cards, and I already felt weird, except that we were collaborating on something, and he said, "Well, man, those record covers, that was your idea.
Yeah.
So just do them." And I don't know how much he meant that, because I proceeded. Yeah, I think I've done like 150 something album covers.
Yeah,
Where,
you got
and
a
what we're
lot.
talking about is like uh taking, say, Smells Like Teen Spirit and redoing it your way, or
Yeah,
whatever album cover you um but but yeah, the whole baseball card thing, I've been thinking about that a lot lately because I've been doing these baseball player things,
right.
and now that idea of like taking baseball cards and remixing them is
Yeah,
actually just its own genre.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's anybody's game, you know. I think
yeah.
it's pop
I think
art.
that's part
So
of the. I mean, like when you start diving into a new, I don't know, a series or just painting a new subject matter, finding your own spin-off that's comfortable for you that you can achieve, every time.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, that's a style,
yeah.
essentially.
But it's interesting to hear you talk about, you thought, I want to be a surreal painter.
Mhm.
Um, when do you think that? Because it sounds like that stopped. You don't think of it that way,
I
or do
just,
you?
eventually I saw it as a limitation, and I didn't want to just say, like, when I looked at my body of work, when I looked at my whole repertoire, it was like, it wasn't like it was mainly surreal art or mainly album covers or mainly athletic stuff or mainly, girls or stuff. Like, it was all even. So I'm like, I'm not really dominant. And it's like, I have like my areas that I like to be in, but like none of them just take over. And I felt like that was kind of that was when I started progressing, was when I was able to combine a lot of my style. Like, say I take one piece that has like a realistic animal, then a cartoon, then some graffiti at the bottom, and then like just every element I know how to do is just thrown in there, and then it's gonna always be recognized as a Teal Sons piece because it's got everything by Teal Sons on it. It's not, it's not just another surreal piece or another abstract or another graffiti. It's everything I do in one.
It
So
was really cool to watch that
yeah,
because, yeah, when I first met you, I could see that that's where you were going, and that it was
mm,
cool. I liked it,
yeah.
but then
I
I
still go
liked
there.
it. But then
Yeah,
I liked it when, oh man, well, he's doing something else, which I think
yeah,
as an artist that just brings us personal happiness.
yeah.
But then I also think like it also not putting that limitation up,
Right.
and people are always free to do or play how they want, as I
Mm,
say. But to me, I like having like a wider field, and then you
yeah.
connect with different types of people and different
Right.
types of like I'm playing, like, just last night I broke out just playing out like the pastels,
Uh huh.
and then that's got a different look. But also, like, I realized, like,
Yeah.
over the years I've gotten better at using them,
Yeah.
whereas I think if you were limited and say I'm just an acrylic sky or this or that,
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
you wouldn't have that growth. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
And that was really, I feel like when I started painting things, because that, like, okay, I'm 25 and I drew my whole life up until I was about 19 or 20. Then I started slowly getting into the paint world, with watercolors and gouache and stuff like that. Then I started doing acrylic, but I still was pretty juvenile with it up until I actually met you. You kind of refined me and that was what I kind of, everyone always asks, what do you wish you would have had when you first started off? I was like, a mentor, bro, a mentor, because I didn't. I say I know an artist or I know a musician or I know I didn't know a painter. I didn't know an illustrator. You know what I mean? I didn't know anyone that was a freelance, canvas messer upper. So like, I, I didn't have the right influence early on. But I'm glad because it kept me. It almost was like a test of faith, and it like showed me how bad I wanted it. If I like, you're gonna keep going looking for something until you find it if you really want it.
Yeah.
And it showed me how much I really wanted it. Because even without that, I still was painting, I still was drawing, I still was learning, still was wanting.
Well, it's funny, that idea of like mentor, because to me, just being in the dialogue, it's why
Mm,
I can, like, if like you, I immediately, it's like, man, I like his work. I like,
yeah,
he's a nice person too. That's important.
yeah, yeah. He's got a nice haircut, you know.
Is he? Is he? you can have nice work and not be a nice person, and then
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
um,
We've seen
we,
it all. We've seen it
we
all. And
we won't drop names, but yeah,
no, no, no. But they know who
but
they are.
we know you're listening. No, it yeah, but I guess my point on that was I just see it like mutual influence. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I like giving others information because then they do stuff with it, and I learn in that process of watching. Because
Right.
I learn from you as well. So
Yeah.
it's it's
Yeah. We
symbiotic.
all did.
It's as it should be. And
Yeah. Yeah. It's a trade off for sure. And I've
I
been
think when
watching.
oh go
Go
ahead
ahead.
go ahead.
Oh no, just watching me, you, and Juan doing the collabs as like merged our styles in a way, or kind of like helped us understand each other's process, so that we can
Yeah.
kind of refine our own processes and stuff. So
So you're talking
this
about
is
the
really
collaborations, and the collaborations are when we because we Teal Sons, Juan Zamora, and I um, we started a thing called the Mid Cities Artists, and so and really a way to market and well just further the community
yeah,
part of art. But we started to uh, before each show that we do over at Central Arts in in Bedford at that time. Um, we would each have a canvas. We'd start a painting. I think it was 15 minutes we put on a clock,
yeah.
and then we'd rotate, and then we kept that, and I don't know how we decided when to stop, but
Until we were tired enough.
right,
Usually, it's like,
yeah,
oh,
because
it's
it's
two in
like
the morning.
I could see the sun, like
Yeah,
yeah,
that's so many times we heard birds chirping.
but yeah, that's definitely an example. That was a learning process because I could it was fun for me. Like I would focus on what made me my voice
Yeah,
and try to sprinkle that into everything we did. And
right.
usually that meant doing random stuff to the
Yeah,
keys,
you know,
trying to make myself laugh. You know?
every time just drawing a toilet here and there.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember like the one painting that girl, and I put a mouse on her shoulder.
I know the
It
one that
was-
was eating the heart, right?
yeah,
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 that was my favorite. I almost want to repaint that again. Just
yeah.
nice
It's good.
concept.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
So what else, man? How's it been? How much do you miss me?
A ton. I know, like literally, it sucks because just the way this quarantine situation hit was so eye-opening to how much you really love the homies, because you just get to hang out with them all the time. It's like, yeah, it's my homies. I see them all the time. But then after this, it's like, nah, that's not what you do. You don't see them all the time. You don't paint murals and finish them. We didn't get to finish our mural that we were working on. And then,
But we're gonna finish it. It's good. It's already. I'd say that's about 90% done.
yeah,
But yeah, we were working on a mural, and then we had to stop production out of safety concerns, and
yeah,
that's all right. But I think what it illustrated is how much of a social thing our little art world is.
yeah,
You know, because
yeah. Because there
because
were a
it
lot
is
of people there.
it's getting together and collaborating on stuff, but then it's also like the openings. Yes, we're there to sell things, but
Mhm.
it's also just a celebration of, hey, we made this new work,
Yeah,
and we're here and we're gonna talk about it and joke and have a good time. And,
yeah,
so that I sorely miss that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but
It
what's
was
cool, is like when we do have our show at full capacity, we'll fill like 5 buildings worth of work.
Yeah, I'm saying. They're gonna be ready. Just
Because
clawing at
all
the
of
door.
us, all of us have been working on our respective projects, and it's
Right.
cool to. I'm glad we have social media to kind of like I can spy on you, Teal Sons.
Right. Like imagine if like this happened and there
Right.
wasn't that. Like what would we do?
Oh yeah. That would be especially like depressing.
Yeah.
I think everybody probably feels some more than others like their share of depressing feelings. And
Oh yeah.
'cause I go through it a little bit. I have the work. I have tons of kids that don't let me even think some days. But
Yeah, you could.
but uh, but yeah, balancing that and marketing my work so that I can sell it and
Yeah.
keep us alive.
Right. Right. No,
That-
definitely.
it's but at the same time, it's been empowering because
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but
It's been a transformative experience, honestly. Most of the pieces I've worked on during quarantine have been kind of therapeutic, just to get my mind off of quarantine. I
yeah
don't want to think about masks. I don't want to think about you know tensions in the country and stuff like that. I just want to paint like I was doing before. That's the one thing I still can do. Everything else you gotta do differently than before, but I can still paint the same
I'm
way.
I'm the same way. Like I went directly to like I've got some behind me, but the baseball series because when I was a
Oh,
kid I liked baseball, but especially it's kind of cool what that morphed into.
mhm.
I'd always been a fan or just baseball history, but the idea that there was a Negro League
Yeah,
and there's a whole museum to that when I was in Kansas City I didn't get to see it, but
yeah,
I'm part of a virtual show that's celebrating that.
yeah, yeah. I've been paying attention to that.
And what I like
That's
about
awesome.
that is it's like, we're talking about like none of our immediate artist circle is terribly political, but
Yeah,
to me the invitation to that show resonated a lot because I'm like,
yeah,
this is such a cool, rich history, and it should be
yeah,
broadcast.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
and the idea that there was even a separate league is bizarre, you
Yeah,
know, and that we
yeah,
we live in that country.
yeah, yeah. I
um,
mean, it wasn't that long ago
yeah,
in terms of centuries.
yeah,
And
but
there's an ultra. Have you heard what's it? Black baseball by Ultramagnetic. You got to check that one out.
okay,
If if,
yeah,
if if it's your mood right now. I mean your activity.
I will queue up the Spotify.
Yeah,
We'll put that in the
it's on there.
studio.
It's on there.
Yeah. So music, you always got it going. Yep. Like we always had it going on at the studio, but you always got it going on when you're painting.
Yeah, I've always got music playing when I'm painting. I don't really. Let me think.
I don't know any other
There's
way. Like,
there's
yeah,
yeah. Well, it's not that I couldn't if there wasn't
yeah.
music playing, but it's just like why would you not have music playing if you're painting? Like it just doesn't
Well, you
it
remember
doesn't
at
match to
Central
me.
Arts, if I would go in there and it was silent, I was just like, what is wrong with?
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to stop when it's not music playing.
Yeah,
The music keeps you just going. You forget that you're doing anything in the first place.
yeah. Well, I think creating is like that in general. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And that's the other thing. And I see, like, because I've noticed that more like at pop ups and stuff like that. It's like when the live music is playing, or if there's just loud music playing, like it just makes it that much
yeah,
easier to live paint and just go
yeah,
at it.
yeah.
And that's what I probably miss most is live painting
See,
because it's the greatest. It
like
just is.
I don't like going because God, that's such hard work. But what made it worth it is like if you or Juan or somebody was there
Yeah,
and we were all live painting, and then we go
yeah,
back and forth and like kind of BS and
yeah,
that made it a really good time because then
yeah,
even if we didn't sell anything, um, man, we got some studio time. We hung out
yeah.
with our friends, so
Right, right.
yeah, so
Right, and it's plus, I like that the part about it is that it becomes a performance when you're live painting. But
Yeah.
when you're just bringing paintings, it's a display.
Yeah.
It's not as much of a performance.
Yeah.
But it just depends.
There you go.
There's some places I've live painted that I was like, maybe that wasn't the best place to live paint. And then there's other places where I'm like, whoa, let's go there every day. Let's literally go Monday through Friday. So it just depends.
So let me ask you this. So, like, unlike me, you're a youngster.
Kind of. A little bit.
So you look at the future of Teal Sons
Oh.
art. What does that
Oh.
look like?
It looks like a dude that's laid back painting and just throwing just almost just tossing the paintings in the air and someone's there to catch it before it hits the ground.
There you go.
Is that majestic? Just
You're gonna make it rain.
Make it rain the painting and here goes someone saving it like a baby off a balcony. That's not a good reference. Let's cut that one out.
I like that. So you got it's like Teal Son's gonna twerk. I live paints and I like it, man.
Twerk with the front half. Dude, it's a twerk.
That was a very sincere answer, and
that's what I want. That's what I want.
To the people listening, he's available to for your live performance.
Yeah. If that's what you need.
If you need it to
bachelorette parties.
That's right.
All that stuff.
There you go.
That's what we're doing. Hooters,
That's
male
funny.
Hooters.
That's right. Well, no, like I guess I'm trying to think back to back then, and then back then it was very frustrating because I never meant to become any of this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for me, it's like I just couldn't stop.
Yeah.
And then, like, you're talking about, I'm happy to hear you say that, like, that what you found was community within the arts. I didn't necessarily find that when I was younger. People, and I don't know what it was, but they were not forthcoming with information. If I wanted to learn something, I actually had to go to a bookstore. You know what that is?
Sometimes.
And grab a physical book and get information. Right. It's crazy, right?
That's prehistoric, man. I'm sorry.
The library sometimes, man. But that's what I know, right? And so to me, I had the support of my family, which is great, but it was a struggle. And then everybody telling me, like, you don't make a living doing this.
Oh man, yeah, you get tired of that.
Well, you can, and then it's several things, and all I knew was at some point that I always say it's like you turn on a light, and then you can't turn that off.
Yeah. You're stuck.
It's like trying to turn. You ever tried this? Like when you're dreaming, and you become conscious of it. Go and try to turn off a light switch.
What? Like in your house, like the real life.
Like in you're dreaming, you're in the dream, and go try to turn off a light switch, because I've never been able to do it. Yeah. Well, like that's what creating was like for me. It's like I can't. Yeah. I don't know how, and it's causing me all these problems, and what I perceived as problem. Eventually somebody, an artist, a senior artist, like said to me, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was kind of kvetching about it, and I was like, I'm just kind of praying God gets these ideas out of my head.
Yeah.
And he said, it's like you're praying for the wrong thing. Like, you have what you're supposed to do in front of you. And then that was, but that's what it takes sometimes, man. It's like somebody somebody you don't really know, maybe, and they reinforce what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what my art, a lot of it became. Like I love doing that, or love when people say I did this because you did that.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, man, cool.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there were times at the beginning where I definitely felt that same way, where it was, I might have had some support of my family, but it was not that it wasn't enough. It just it didn't reach that point that it needed to hit to lead me to that realization. You know what I mean? That point where I had to accept that, I do art and I'm not gonna never stop. Like I will die sooner. And once you accept that, you can't return it. There's no refunds on that.
And it would be really hard to.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I will, like, I feel like mental health or sanity has a direct relationship with my ability to produce art. Because if for some reason I can't, like, everything else will start shutting down.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Well, that's why I paint every day, to keep that bad juju away.
Yeah.
Like, I have to actively be working on it, or else I don't feel right.
Yeah, something's missing for sure.
Yeah.
Something's lacking.
There you go.
At that point.
So what are we gonna do next, man?
Next, we're gonna get this Kung Fu show back going.
Right.
That's really what I want, because that was the one I was excited the most for. That one was my idea. Yeah. And I was excited for the promo. Like, we were gonna do the weird lip syncing and everything. Like, it was gonna be great. And I love martial arts, so it's just like, this was the one. And
so people, like, listening, enter the HEB. Hercules Bedford is the name of the show. It's going to happen at a date yet to be determined. But yeah, that'll be our big comeback.
Yeah.
Kung Fu theater.
Right. Foot to the face. It's amazing.
Tiger style.
Axe
That'd
kick.
be good.
We're gonna break some tables today.
You're right. That's what we need to get back to. But in the interim, I love what I'm seeing. As far as the artwork you're producing, always strong, always evolving. If you want to check out tealsons.com.
Yeah, tealsons.com. I've got all my artwork, and we've got merchandise, t-shirts, mugs, phone cases, and stuff.
You can order stuff and make it rain in your home.
Oh yeah. Get geared up. Yeah. We're ready. We've got all colors.
And then on social media, Teal Sons, you can find them on various platforms, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, so. Instagram, Facebook. I just created a Twitter.
You on the Snashna?
I'm on Snashna, Teal Sons.
Snapchat.
I'm on TikTok. I just made a TikTok. Still,
okay.
Teal Sons on TikTok.
I inspired him.
Yes. We're even now for this.
I was the innovator who went onto this bizarre platform and tried to figure it. I still don't understand. Well, I'm understanding it more, but
I'm trying to figure out how to make the vocals merge. Like, if you have one video and another, like,
auto-tune
the vocals. Yeah, auto-tune. There's auto-tune on there. I know there is.
All right, good. Teal Son's gonna serenade you.
Skits, man.
Some skits. Yeah.
I want to do some stuff.
I just been putting my artwork on there, like, maybe
well,
eventually. Yeah, it's just, well, there's a certain language, so it's like, I'm like, okay, that doesn't really feel like me. Maybe an idea will come, but yeah. But I've been having fun, like, just making, because it's really condensed stuff where you just hit the audience and So that's been.
I just now learned is you can, because I thought you could only do 15 seconds, but you can do 60 seconds.
They're about to up it to like 3 minutes.
Oh wow, makes sense. That's like the IG live. Because remember, for a while, Instagram had that limit. It was like a 1 minute limit.
Yeah.
So I guess they're making it so people can share more content.
Yeah. I like it. Anytime there's a platform and we can broadcast from it, It's a good time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But there's so many time lapses on there. I'm noticing, and thanks to you, I found the tripod yesterday, and I'm gonna have some more time lapses coming through in the future.
Cool.
So
cool. Yeah. Glad to hear it.
Good angles.
That's right. you gotta catch that angle right when it starts raining Teal Sun's artwork.
Right. That's why it's top down, because it's with the clouds.
I think that's your new slogan, man.
Make it
Teal
rain.
Sun's making it rain. Like.
I guess so, man. It's all in the sky. I like
that's
it.
Right. We got this. We got this, Teal Suns.
Meteor shower suns.
Well, you are the best in the world. Thank you. Thank you for
best.
Journeying on this artist Bebop thing. I think eventually when we can all get together, it'll be artist Bebop with the Mid-Cities artists.
Okay. So, yeah, that'd be fresh.
So I'm gonna need your vocal ability. Look into that auto-tune.
Okay.
And
okay. I want to get the old school auto, like with the straw, with the. I need that one. We're gonna get retro.
Okay, yeah. I'm with it.
Matter of fact, I want 2 straws. I want the rawest.
Whatever Teal Suns wants. We will find sponsorship and we will make it happen.
We will find straws.
We are that. We're not just artists, we're businessmen.
Oh yeah.
So there you go.
Oh yeah. And straw users. We don't live in California. So we can use straws.
Oh man, all right. Well, we just lost our environmental following.
Oh no. Sea turtles, we love you. We love all the turtles.
Save the dolphins.
Seriously. The beluga whales.
What's never use.
Oh, I don't care.
There's plenty of things that we want to save. So if you're listening,
swim.
The Mid-Cities artists care. So
yes.
All right, man. Well, you'll be back here.
Okay.
But keep on keeping on.
Bebop. Bebop.
Yeah. And that's why you got these. I think you can only get like 5. Because it used to only be able to record for 1 minute straight.
You're using up my time, Teal Suns?
Not 1 minute.